It's Carl Brower, and I want to talk to you about the 2024 LongTail rally that I completed recently. This was my fourth time going out with this crew, looking for adventure across the country. The big difference this time was that we did it on the East Coast. It was the first rally that we had east of the Rockies, and that meant shipping all of our cars back to New York City as a first step. I flew into New York City, went down into the parking garage to check that all the cars, particularly this one, had gotten there safe and sound. They had. Then we went up into the Mandarin Oriental right off Columbus Circle and checked in with our kind of rally mom, Julie. And she was there, as always, to make sure we got set up with our rally goodie bag that always includes great things like hats and shirts and really the bags themselves, which we're always using to organize things on a road trip, as anyone must. And we started prepping for the week's adventure, which was going to start in New York City, obviously, end in Nashville, and cover a lot of great roads in between, including arguably the best road in the country. So let's get into more of the details. For our first event, it wasn't even a driving event, it was a boat cruise around the, well, most popular coastline in the country. We all boarded the Enchanted yacht for a dinner cruise that let us watch New York City's lights come up as the sun went down. This was an incredible way to see landmarks like One World Trade Center, the Statue of Liberty, and the Brooklyn Bridge. After this amazing cruise, we headed back to the hotel, got up the next morning, and lined up 24 exotic cars on 58th Avenue. Then we proceeded to cruise down Broadway right through Times Square. And you can imagine the sight of 25 exotic cars cruising through downtown New York. It caused a bit of a stir, to say the least. But you know, people think of New York as not a very car-friendly city, and it probably isn't from the driving point of view, but we had plenty of New Yorkers, either natives or tourists, pulling cell phones, waving, and taking photos. So it was quite the spectacle, and it was pretty fun to be, honestly, the center of attention going through New York for a few minutes there. After our Times Square adventure, it was time to head west. And after a few hundred miles, a few gas stops, and a few rain showers, we landed in Steel City and checked in. The next morning, we headed to Pittsburgh International Race Complex for a little friendly karting competition. This involved a morning warm-up session and then a 60-minute endurance race with teams of 3 and required driver changes that were pretty interesting, as you can imagine. It was a great competition and a lot of fun. People do not realize how much fun karting is unless they've done it before. You're low to the ground, you have no wind protection, and you may have a fraction of the horsepower that a supercar has, but the sense of speed is amazing, and you really need to have a clean line to get around the track and pull the best lap times. In this case, the winning team was Gene Mark, Stephanie Simo, and Ali Long. They got the most laps done in that 1 hour. If that wasn't enough fun for one day, and for this crowd it wasn't, we then went to downtown Pittsburgh for an evening at PNC Park, where we did a LongTail takeover and got to use the park as our own personal playground. We drove our cars right up to the concession stand, Fatheads, right there in the main center area, and then we ate pizza and went down onto the field and practiced batting in the pro batter's box. It was a great time, and we were all able to confirm that none of us are as good as pro baseball players, not even close. But it was a lot of fun confirming that and pretending to be big shots and swinging for the bleachers in a professional park. The next morning we got up and we left Pittsburgh heading south into West Virginia and the Greenbrier Luxury Resort. This resort has a lot of history that actually dates back to 1778, and it's a high-class establishment. However, they still let us in, and they didn't even kick us out after the first night's dinner, despite some questionable fashion choices by a couple of our participants. The Greenbrier offers a wide range of fun activities, from golfing to fishing to falconry and even skeet shooting, which, by the way, the handsome man you see here is none other than Ted Seven, the man responsible for most of the great photos you're seeing throughout this video. And while he's shooting a gun in this image, his clear weapon of choice is actually a camera. Anyway, participants enjoyed several of those activities before we went to the main event, which was to tour the secret fallout bunker built underneath the Greenbrier Resort. This fallout bunker was first constructed in 1962 as a contingency to hide Congress in case there was ever a nuclear strike. It was kept secret for about 30 years, but revealed in 1992, and now you can go tour it like we did. In fact, we were able to eat dinner after the tour right down in the bunker. And once again, the Greenbrier did not kick us out, despite a few more questionable fashion choices by one or two, well, actually the same participant on the rally. On day 6 of the 2024 Longtail Rally, we departed the Greenbrier Resort and headed to Harrah's Cherokee Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. On the way, we stopped at a Sonic drive-in so we could have some traditional road trip food. Then we continued on through what is called the Back of the Dragon. This is a precursor to the Tail of the Dragon, and while it's not the twistiest road we drove, it does have 438 turns in 32 miles. It's also got what I would consider probably the lushest scenery I have ever seen in North America. It almost looks like a South American rainforest. If you're a fan of driving and/or a fan of great scenery, highly recommended. You should really go to the Back of the Dragon. That night in Cherokee included a dinner where we also got a close-up look at the latest watches from MB&F. This is a watch company, a premium watch company, founded in 2005 by Maximilien Bousset in Geneva. He has been creating watches in extremely limited numbers that really almost jump off your wrist. They've got these three-dimensional designs, they've got crazy shapes, and there's real craftsmanship going on underneath all of these amazing and elaborate designs. It was a great time to look at these watches. We were drooling over them throughout dinner, and Jean-Marc, who was on the rally with us and a fellow enthusiast and driver, enjoyed showing us these watches and really captivating us with these designs. If you're looking for a high-end watch, an alternative to many of the high-end watch names we're familiar with, MB&F produces, again, very unique, creative designs, high quality, and most importantly, very limited numbers. You're not going to see anyone else wearing one of these watches if you buy one. In a classic save the best for last move, the 2024 Longtail Rally had us driving from Cherokee, North Carolina to Nashville, Tennessee along Route 129, also known as the Tail of the Dragon. This has 338 turns in 11 miles and is considered one of the twistiest roads in America and probably one of the best driving roads in America, if not the world. It's a great road not only because of all these turns, but the pavement is perfect, it's smooth, and there's lush scenery just like the Back of the Dragon all around you. It's really magical if you have driver capability and car capability come together on this road. And of course, the local community has come up with a way to celebrate the Tail of the Dragon with a gift shop that has all sorts of trinkets and collectibles that you can get to prove you were there. In my case, I found a color-matched sign that says both Porsche and the stats of the road and had to pick it up. I should note that driving this 2012 911 Turbo S on the Tail of the Dragon was the perfect combination of car and driver and road. I really enjoy this vehicle. This is the second year that I've done the Longtail Rally in my 911 Turbo S, and I'll be doing a video soon that deep dives into this car specifically, the unique spec that you're probably already seeing, and all the unique capabilities and how much fun it's been. I got this car with only 1,951 miles. I found it just over a year ago. It's now got 7,500 miles, and I'm enjoying it even more than I thought I would. But that'll be in another video you'll see soon. From the Tail of the Dragon, it was about 200 miles to our final destination, Nashville, Tennessee. And before I get into what we did in Nashville, let me just say for the record, Nashville is a little out of control. I mean, I know the town is based in a fun industry, obviously, and I know there's plenty of parties going on there, but it's really like a Mardi Gras year-round. I was not expecting that. You go down onto the street to walk around on any given night, especially in the summertime, and there's people everywhere, and there are clubs everywhere, and there's just a general celebration and festivities going on. If you're looking to party, look no further than Music City. For our last stop, we stayed at the One, as in number 1 hotel in downtown Nashville, and after checking in, we all tucked our cars safely away in the underground parking because, as I mentioned, if there's a city where you want to let your feet do the moving instead of a car, it's Nashville. Our final party in Nashville was at the appropriately named Redneck Riviera, where everyone enjoyed reviewing the week's activities while eating really good food that I'm pretty sure was really bad for us. What can I say about the 2024 Longtail Rally? Once again, Michael Knapp and Julie Milne arranged a week of car adventures perfect for the lifetime memory highlight reel. This makes them 4 for 4, a very impressive record in the car rally world, and it has me wondering when I'll ever pull the Longtail Rally morphine drip out of my arm. If all goes well, I never will.